Well, welcome back to the Dream Car Show, based right here at Anthony James Cars.
Really got me, really got me, really got me.
Now, this place was born out of a real passion for cars and the desire to own some really special vehicles.
Got me, really got me, really got me. Really got me, really got me, really got me.
Well, of course, a dream car could be anything from, Portofino, AMG GTS, or E46 M3. The purist would choose a coupe, no sunroof and manual, but I think that a convertible with SMG really does offer a whole different level of enjoyment. About 18 months or so ago, I was looking particularly for an E46 M3. For years and years I'd always been buying new cars, and the last few cars I had were PCP. And I kind of looked at it and the amount of money I was spending monthly and over the years, and effectively then not really getting anything in return other than using the car. So I thought if I pooled the money I would typically spend on a car, maybe about 35,000, 40,000, and I could get some really interesting cars, and cars that would not necessarily depreciate at all and maybe even rise in value, effectively it would be like free motoring. I came to see one here at Anthony James Cars and I bought it, and it's been fantastic ever since. Of course, all of the E46 M3s are now going up in value if you find a really good one. This one is fantastic. It's the right colour, estriol blue. I think it's just reaching about 60,000 miles. It's got black leather interior, it's got the Harman Kardon. This one does have a few subtle upgrades, like a newly retrimmed steering wheel with M-coloured stitching. The leather interior is in great condition, with just a few areas showing some expected signs of its 16-year-old age. The eyebag springs fitted to this car is another really great upgrade, gives it a slightly lower stance. The 19-inch wheels are in fantastic condition, just been fully refurbished. This has a full service history, which is a must for these type of cars. The last service was an inspection 2 at only 58,000 miles. The only thing that people sort of question is this is SMG. Now, my own car is SMG, and I'm going to go and drive that car, and I'll tell you a bit more about that. One thing you will notice, of course, it is absolutely filthy at the moment. Hard to keep cars clean in the winter. So I'm going to go and see Steve. He's going to do a full maintenance detail on this to bring it back to the pristine condition that it is underneath all this dirt. So on the drive over, I'm going to talk a bit more about the SMG. So SMG is like Marmite in the world of E46 M3s. But I think most of the negativity I see online, on YouTube, that kind of thing, it kind of seems to be born out of people that haven't actually driven an SMG M3. I think you'll find there's been, recently, there's been quite a few of the big YouTubers driving the CSL that's owned by BMW UK and doing reviews on that. And by and large, they all absolutely love it, and mostly saying that, you know, it really does suit the car. But I think what happens is most people that have never driven SMG jump in the car and drive it just for like 5 or 10 minutes or something. It does seem awkward and difficult, and it's really nothing like modern DSG gearboxes. It's sort of thing you have to take your time to get to know and to learn how to use. Really, it's kind of treating it as a proper manual gearbox, like raising off the throttle when you change gear and that kind of thing. But generally speaking, once you take some time to get used to it, it's absolutely brilliant. I really, really love it. So you have got a button down here where you can adjust the ferocity of the gear changes. And I have kind of, now I've got used to it, if I'm running in just sort of an auto mode, I set it in a very sort of slow change setting because it's ideal for driving around town, that kind of thing. It's just really easy and smooth. But literally as soon as you either pull the lever to get it into manual or pull one of the paddles, it will go into the mode that you've set for manual. And I set manual at full speed, although it's not quite full speed because there is a secret setting. And that secret setting is if you turn off the DSC, crank it up one more notch, and you'll see another light come on, and then you're in full ferocity mode without traction control. Yeah, I mean, once you get used to it, it is really, really smooth, really, really easy. It's absolutely wicked. I mean, you can change gear with your foot flat to the floor. You do get a little bit of a clunk as it's changing through. And if you can easily smooth that out though, for just a little raise of your foot off the throttle as you change, and it's as smooth as silk, and it is just really, really good fun. Now I'm going to drive along here, and now this is in manual, and I'm now in 4th gear, smooth as anything. 5th gear, it is just easy. And one of the kind of bonuses of that is, because the SMG is not as popular or as in demand as the manual, you can get one of these cars a couple of £1,000 cheaper. I think it's a bargain. The CSL only comes with the SMG gearbox. A good CSL now is what, £60,000, and everyone that drives one absolutely adores it, and it's like a want car for their garage. Get used to it, learn to love it, like me. Anyway, that's enough of me fannying on about SMG. It's time to get this car cleaned. So you can see my car at the moment. My neighbours think that I own a small hill instead of a car. Henceforth, we're now here with Steve at Advanced Detail, who's going to do the full maintenance washing it. Now, Steve, about a year ago, you actually fully sorted this car out, and it had a ceramic coat and everything.
Yep.
So, and I've not really cleaned it that much since.
It's very clear that you haven't cleaned it at all since. So what we're going to do is give it a maintenance detail. So we'll give it a full thorough wash, decontaminate the paintwork, get some wet coat protection on there, and it will look as good as it was when it left here a year ago.
Oh my God, let's get on with it.
Woohoo!
So Steve, it must be such an honour and a privilege for you to be working on my M3. It's probably the finest piece of engineering you've ever seen.
Finest.
What's that?
Have you not seen the latest Evo magazine?
No.
I detailed the brand new hybrid V6 engine for McLaren.
Whatever. And yet, the water just beads off. So you've been a detailer for what, 15 years?
Yep.
Man or boy?
I
heard from your mum. She said that when you were 18 months old and you've been out in your pushchair, you used to detail that as a toddler. Is that true?
Yeah.
Baller detailer. And you've been using Geon products pretty much the whole time?
Probably for the last 5 years, I would say. We've been a certified detailer for Geon for a while now. The great thing about that partnership with them is that we get sent products for us to try, have a play with, and then we get to review them.